All right, to make our paracord keychains, here are the supplies we'll need. About 3 feet length of paracord, a key ring, some scissors, a ruler, and a lighter. Make sure to have adult supervision and help for the step involving the lighter. Our first step is going to be to thread our paracord through our key ring. And you're gonna pull about half of your length of paracord through the key ring. So you wanna stop when your ends are even with each other. Let's see, so I got my ends even, and my paracord's about halfway through my key ring. Then I'm gonna bring my key ring towards me, and my ends are gonna face away from me. I'm gonna measure 3 inches up from the bottom of my paracord or the top of my key ring. So grab my ruler, I'm gonna measure about 3 inches. And I'm just gonna place my thumb on the 3-inch mark. Okay, so that 3 inches that I just measured is going to be the base of our keychain. And then the rest of the paracord, you're gonna have your right side and your left side. I like to call them snakes. So we've got our right side snake and our left side snake and our 3-inch base. So I'm gonna set mine down in front of me on my table, but I'm not gonna move my finger from that 3-inch mark. I'm just gonna replace my thumb with my index finger just to make sure that I keep the right length. So I've got my loop, or my base down in front of me, and I've got my right side and my left side. Now it's time to make our first knot. So I'm gonna take my right snake and I'm gonna bring him around and loop him over my base. Do that step again. Took my right side, keeping my finger on my base for that 3-inch mark, and I'm going to take my right side and bring him over my base. Then I'm going to take my left side and bring it over my right. Replace my finger there. So here's what it should look like. I just brought my left side down and put it over my right. Now here's the fun part. My left side snake's gonna come under my base and up through that first loop I made. There it goes. Let's do that part again. So this was my left side that was down here. I'm gonna take him up under my base and through the loop. So keeping my finger on my 3-inch mark, I'm gonna start pulling both ends of both of my snakes. So they start to make our knot. Here's that a little closer. And I'm gonna pull it, not super tight, just a little tight. And we've got our first knot. So this is gonna be one end of our keychain and the other end of our keychain around our base. So here's what our keychain should look like after we've tied our first knot. Then we're gonna go ahead and measure our base to make sure it's right around 3 inches. So mine's about at 3, so I am ready to roll. If yours is closer to 2.5 inches or 4 inches, go ahead and repeat our last step and tie your first knot. We want to have a base that's just right around 3 inches because that's the correct length that we have of paracord. Now we are ready to start actually weaving the keychain. One trick to how to begin your weave is you always start on the side that has the bump. So as you can see from our first knot, our bump's going to be here on our left side. So we'll start with the left. And to start your weave, you're just going to take your left side, bring it over your base. You're going to take your right, take it over that left side, come under the base and up through that loop and pull it tight. So as you can see, now our bump is going to be on the right side. So our bump always tells us which side to start with if you ever forget. There's our bump. We're going to start with our right side, make a loop over our base, take our left, put it over our right, bring it under the base and pull her tight. And that is pretty much how we will finish out our keychain. And always remember to start with the side where the bump is on and just do every other side until you get all the way down to the bottom. And one great thing I love about Paracord is that sometimes you might mess up. As you can see here, I didn't start with the right side. It looks a little funky. You can just simply untie it and see that I need to start the side where my bump's at. So I need to start with my left side. And pull it tight. As you go down, you can kind of stretch it out a little bit, even it out. Always pull it tight. Okay, and once we get all the way down to the end and we can't make another loop, we don't have enough room to make another loop, we're gonna go ahead and cut the extra ends off with some scissors. On both sides. This next step, we're gonna get an adult helper to help us light the ends, and they're actually gonna melt the paracord so that it sticks and our awesome keychain doesn't come untied. When you are melting, have your scissors nearby to press the ends after you get it melted, and remember the paracord does get really, really hot, so make sure not to touch it. Just light it. And then we'll just press it down with our scissors. We'll do that to both sides. So there we go. We have our completed paracord keychain. And we encourage you guys to take yours with you on your next outdoor adventure.